Kind of I don't know, an unsolved mysteries edition of Idaho Sports Talk. If you're just joining us, thank you. We'll catch you up to speed. Prater's getting a new dog this weekend. We need to help him name this damn thing. Right now, they're thinking of Bingo as his name. And Prater also wants advice about how bringing him in to meet and greet his current dog. I mean, you're introducing two new brothers to each other, and maybe somebody listening is good at this and they've done this before. Prater, you've never had two puppies before, kind of at the same time. Bruce really isn't a puppy anymore, but this will be a puppy, and you want some advice on how to handle two, because going from one dog to two dogs.
Yeah, I'll take any and all advice, including the name. And every time you say Bingo, I cringe just a little bit. Just that song is stuck in my head all day long today, and it's going to be stuck in my head for the next 15 years if I go there. So don't want to go there.
It's weird too. I had somebody text in the program, and it's funny the professions of people who listen to us. But I had a vet text the program. And because we were talking about nobody names their dog Bingo, and it's one of those supposedly famous dog names. And this vet tech texted in and said, actually, it's still a very common name. This guy operates on dogs, and he said a lot of the dogs he's operated on have been named Bingo. All right. And you're not a fan of the song Radar Love.
It's fine. It's fine. I had no idea who sang it, and I certainly don't listen to it anymore like JP does. But
what goes through your head when JP says, just this morning, this is totally coincidental too. JP was listening to that song on his way into the office. When you picture JP, his hands are, 10 and 2 o'clock. He's on his car. He's driving the Camry in. It's got over 200,000 miles on it now, and he's rocking out to Radar Love.
And the crazy thing, and I'm singing to that.
Yeah.
I'm got it cranked up as loud as it'll go to.
And you're singing it with it.
Oh,
Radar Love.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Not surprising. I mean, you eating shrimp off people's plates yesterday. JP listening to music that's 70 years old. I'm not surprised. I'm you two knuckleheads, and I certainly have my own issues and faults, but you two knuckleheads make me laugh every single day.
It's great. So we'll take those calls and read those texts, and hopefully take a few calls from you guys on Fast Phone Friday. We'll set that up in a second. But Prater, let's talk about some massive quarterback matchups, massive storylines. That's what we like. We like stories with the NFL, and I think it's not going to sell short this week, Prater. Let's just break down the specific 4 quarterback matchups, and I guess start with tomorrow on a way better than you think matchup between Trevor Lawrence and Patrick Mahomes.
Go back and look at their stats from week 11 on. Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback.
Wow.
Statistically. He's a better quarterback statistically. His stats from week 11 are just slightly better than Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying that Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback or he's going to come in and win. As a matter of fact, I think the Chiefs, I like chalk an awful lot this weekend, and I think the Chiefs are going to blow them out. And it's time. I mean, what they've done with the Jaguars, they've done a nice job with the Jaguars, but you kind of have to go through the process. You kind of have to get okay.
Like baby steps.
Yeah, and then the next year you get to the playoffs and you lose. The next year you get to the playoffs and you win. And you kind of build it that way. I'm not quite sure the Jaguars are ready to be a serious contender in the NFL playoffs, but I like the future that they're going. This is going to be a learning experience for them, and Patrick Mahomes is going to do Trevor Lawrence dirty. I promise you this. Trevor Lawrence will not be hanging out at Waffle House at the end of the game this weekend.
What's that mean?
You didn't see last week?
I mean, what I see a lot of.
They celebrate at Waffle House.
I couldn't go more than 10 seconds for 4 days without Trevor Lawrence going to Waffle House videos.
I didn't see any of those. I see a lot of fights at the Waffle House online and stuff. I love the Waffle House. I wish they were over in this part of the country, but they're not. I would go to a Waffle House 2-3 times a week if there was one in Boise.
That doesn't surprise me.
I love it, man. But no, I didn't see that. Me on this matchup, okay. Better than you think. And I'm a fantasy geek. And, I've heard the stats on, basically from week 9, Trevor Lawrence had, more fantasy points than anybody of any quarterback, including Patrick Mahomes, who threw for 5,000 yards and 40 teeters this season.
And he's an MVP guy.
Will win the MVP. I don't think you can make a case for anybody else. But gosh, Trevor Lawrence is learning quick, and he's learning quick like Patrick Mahomes learned quick. Why? Coaching matters. Teaching matters. He has Doug Peterson, who is almost a savant at developing quarterbacks. Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles, okay? That's like tracking down a cephalopoid on foot, Men in Black fans, Mike Prater. Nobody does that. Doug Peterson coached with Andy Reid, both in Philadelphia and Kansas City. They're cut from the same cloth. They're on the same tree. And I think Trevor Lawrence with Doug Peterson's coaching, I think they're going to be ready for this game. I don't see one of these, crap. It's 27-0 Kansas City at halftime, even though that was the score last week, and Jacksonville still came back and won. I don't think they will this week. For me, in this matchup, quickly, the pressure is on Patrick Mahomes. He hasn't been to a Super Bowl. I know it doesn't sound, it's not a long time, but he hasn't been to a Super Bowl for 2 years. Here's a guy that people kind of pencil in the Super Bowl every single year. And this is the first year of Mahomes' new massive contract where he doesn't have a lot of the players around him that he had in the past because they got to pay so much money to him. To me, very intriguing matchup. Daniel Jones, Jalen Hurts. What are you thinking on this, Mr. Sports Writer headline guy?
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones is kind of like we talked about the quarterback matchups last year, 7 rock stars and then Ryan Tannehill. This year it's like 7 rock stars and Daniel Jones. And I know Daniel Jones has been playing better, but whatever that means, I'm not even sure I've seen Daniel Jones play in the NFL. I'm not sure I want to see Daniel Jones play in the NFL. Jalen Hurts certainly hasn't been the dominating player over the last third of the season that he was in the first 2/3 of the season. Let's see how healthy he is and how they can get things done. I would imagine this is the end of the line for the New York Giants, and Jalen Hurts is going to play okay, but Daniel Jones's future is pretty bright. Let's see what he does next year and beyond. But I don't see it happening this weekend, ballgame.
I don't know why, but I've always been anti-Daniel Jones.
Everybody has.
I've kind of rooted against the kid.
Everybody has.
I don't know why. I just kind of picked him like I'm just not gonna like him, and I'm not gonna, I'm gonna kind of be happy when he doesn't do well. But last week, and I was rooting for the Vikings, and Daniel Jones went in there and scorched a defense that, let's be honest, has been scorched by a lot worse quarterbacks than Daniel Jones. But Daniel Jones was sharp yesterday. And everything, it's like every tool, everything that Daniel Jones is good at was on display last week against the Vikings. I think Philly's defense is in a different planet. It's on a different planet than Minnesota's. But I just want to see if Daniel Jones can come close to duplicating last week. And as for Jalen Hurts, Prater, I want to see if he's going to be able to play without the rust. He hasn't played significant football for like a month, man. And I don't know how healthy he is. I know he's not 100%. Nobody is this time of year. Where is Jalen Hurts on the health issue? And they didn't play as well with Gardner Minshew as I thought they would have this year. I think this game is close unless we see the Jalen Hurts from 2 months ago and he takes over this game and Philly looks like one of the best teams in the league. For Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, this is Sunday, the morning game, Prater. And if you're looking for star power, look no further, I think, than Joe Burrow and Josh Allen in Buffalo.
Yeah, what can you say about this? It's rock star versus rock star, and that's pretty exciting, pretty cool. And I know you're rooting for Joe Burrow. I'm rooting for Josh Allen, and I cannot wait to see that game. That's going to be a good football game. And I don't know what the weather's going to be like. I'm assuming it's going to be fine because I haven't seen any crazy snow reports, weather reports, cold reports. This is going to be a classic matchup of just quarterback. Last year, at this point, it was Mahomes versus Allen. So in this particular case, Burrow versus Allen, I cannot wait to watch this game.
All right, I'm not going to comment any further. This is just big time. I'll just say what I said in the production meeting. It's like going to a movie starring Robert De Niro and like Al Pacino.
Yep,
okay,
yep.
2 big time, mega bona fide stars, and you expect it to be a hell of a movie. Prater, Dak Prescott and his Cowboys in Santa Clara against Brock Purdy. I still forgot the damn name. And the San Francisco 49ers. Can Brock Purdy put a massive dent into Dak Prescott's ride, man? Can he slam this guy's door in a little bit?
Yes!
You're hoping so, huh?
Absolutely. I'm all about Brock Purdy. He's my new favorite player in the National Football League. He's been playing for what? It's not surprising you forgot his name. He's been in the NFL for 60 days, for crying out loud. He got his first start in December. It's ridiculous.
Nuts.
So it's the NFL always delivers, but nobody saw this one coming. It's crazy how it's worked out. Last year, Jimmy G was playing Aaron Rodgers in this particular spot. Now It's Dak and Brock Purdy. It's crazy. I think all the biggest quarterback out of all 8 of these quarterbacks that's got the most pressure on them this week. I don't agree with you on the Mahomes thing. He's got zero pressure on him. I think it's all about Dak. Dak has to perform. Dak can't lose here. Dak can't have a bad game. And the trickle-down effect there is McCarthy, Kellen, and the gang. They're not going to get fired. They're fine. They're moving forward regardless of where they finish in the playoffs. But I think Dak is going to have a lot of pressure here, and I don't think Dak performs very well under pressure. And I think Brock Purdy is just young and dumb and doesn't give a crap.
Dak Prescott is under 500 in his career against teams over 500. He led the league in interceptions this year, and he missed 6 weeks when Cooper Rush was playing in his place, not throwing interceptions. Dak's awesome. Okay, he's a Pro Bowl caliber guy. I agree with you. There's a ton of pressure on Dak to be able to beat this rookie F-wad 7th round Yahoo. The Cowboys need to go in there and find a way. I'll tell you this about Brock Purdy, what I've seen so far. It's not what he does well. It's what he doesn't do poorly. He doesn't do anything poorly. He just executes. Open man, I got you. Handoff, Chris. Play action, nailed it. I mean, the talent that they put around him,
yes.
He's got the best left tackle. It reminds me, again, a comp to Tom Brady in 2001 with that Patriots team. He's not great at anything. He just doesn't make mistakes. And in this league, that can take you like to Super Bowls and stuff. We've seen it. And that's going to be a big one, man. I think the Niners are going to win. Prater, again, I have the Niners going to the Super Bowl. I have a couple bucks on that, and I'm feeling good about that pick. I think that's going to happen. Big weekend. We will air, JP, 3 of the 4 divisional round games sandwiched with the Steelheads game in there. So lots to get after here this weekend on Idaho Sports Talk. I'm just going to say this right now. If anybody can call and say a dog name that Prater says nailed it, I'm going to give you $100 of my own money. You can suggest a name. Yeah, I'll pull out the $100 in my wallet right here if I have it. And I'm going to give somebody $100 if they come up with a name and Prater's like, oh, dude, I'm naming my dog that. But more often, Prater, what do you want to know? You need some advice from our listeners, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to be picking up a lot of crap and pee over the next 6 months. So I need some hacks. I need some life hacks, some life tricks, some puppy hacks. So let's make that happen.
All right, Prater. Fast Phones Friday. We want you to bring it. Prater in the ball game.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studios, this is Ticket Traffic.
The connector into the merge